going to apologize to the cameraman because I'm like a caged animal. I like to roam, so I may pop up in the back in a few moments, but I like to move around. I don't know if it's the time I spend in prison or I just don't know, but I do like to move around a bit. So who played college tennis in the United States? 1, 2. Where'd you play?
University of Miami.
University of Miami. Go Canes. In the back?
Davis Nelkins College.
Where?
Davis Nelkins College.
Davis Nelson?
And Elkins.
In Elkins, North Carolina?
West Virginia.
West Virginia. Ooh, okay. We won't go there. West Virginia, rough place. No, just kidding. All right, so 2 players. Anybody ever coach over in the United States college tennis? No? No? Have you ever had any players go on to play college tennis that you've been coaching? 1, 2, couple? Any schools? Where'd they go?
Purdue.
Purdue?
Wake Forest.
Wake Forest? Big schools?
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, big school. Where'd you go?
Kentucky.
Kentucky? Okay, another big school, right? In the back, what'd you have? Anybody coach some players who went?
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt? Okay, so literally you all have given me Power 5 schools. Division I, Power 5 schools, right?
Yeah.
Which is the thing, I kind of have this saying. Let me catch up on my slides here. Let me see how I'm doing. All right, developmental pathways, all levels of college tennis. All right, let's move it along. All right, the most important thing you need to learn about college tennis, and if you listen to nothing else I say today, listen to this. Every kid that you have can play college tennis somewhere. Okay? It may not be Purdue, it probably is not going to be Vanderbilt or Ole Miss, but they can play somewhere. And there's not a kid I've met on the planet, and I travel around a good bit, right, that can't play somewhere. Now, it may be in the middle of West Virginia or Idaho or a state or a city you've never even heard of, right? But they can play somewhere. And we'll dive into that. Because here's what I find. There's this huge misconception, right? Everyone says D1. You know what D1 means? What does it mean? Division I. How many divisions are there?
3.
Go on. There's 3 divisions in NCAA, but there's actually 5 levels, 5 divisions of college tennis. So you've got NAIA, which is below that, and junior college. So we'll dive into that. So I have this other saying, right? And sometimes it's not so popular with some coaches and friends of mine, but I say it anyway, because D1 doesn't matter. D1 doesn't matter. And why would I say that? I'm sorry? We start thinking, oh, D1. And if I can't go to Purdue or Vanderbilt or Ole Miss, right, then I can't play college tennis. Or somehow I failed in this venture to go play college tennis. And getting to D1 doesn't matter, because there are some Division I teams that I will not schedule. Our team is NAIA, which if you look at the chart, the flow chart, and we've got it coming up here in a moment. If you look at the flow chart, it'd be Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, and then junior college, right? And you think, oh, well, you're down here, NAIA. Well, I can promise you that there are some teams that are Division I that don't want to play us. Why? We're just deep and we're better, right? There's some Division I teams out there that don't have the budget, right? And so one of the things we're going to go over today is understanding the business of college athletics. It is truly a business. It's changed since it was different years ago. It changed before COVID. It's changed during COVID. It's changed after COVID, right? And that player that played for Vanderbilt or for Purdue or for Ole Miss came back, and it's a different world now. So I want to talk about the realities, not what maybe happened in the past or what happened when you were there. Back in 1947 you played, right? 48, 49? Okay. So we want to look at the different levels. Everyone can play. D1 doesn't matter, and it is truly a business. All right, here we go. which one's next. All right, let's talk about the business of college tennis, right? So there was pre-COVID, there was COVID, and then there was post-COVID, all right? So during COVID, we had to kind of shut down things. And when we shut down things, a lot of the players got a COVID year back, right? So what did that mean to the business as a coach? What did that mean to me? Well, the kid that maybe was going to be graduating actually had another year, right? They kept taking classes. They were doing classes online, but they had another year of eligibility to actually play. So the kids coming out of high school, the kids coming from New Zealand or Czech Republic or Brazil or wherever, there was this bottleneck of kids that was still in the system. I'm not going to get rid of a player that was already on my team that I knew was proven for a spot for somebody else that's unproven. Remember, it's a business. I'm gambling here. I'm investing that you're going to actually show up and be as good as your coach says you are. Or worse yet, okay? Worse yet, I'm gambling you're going to be as good as the recruiting agency says you are. And recruiting agencies, that's a whole nother thing that I'm going to need a bottle of whiskey to talk about, okay? And that'll be later. A whole bottle of whiskey. All right, anybody drink whiskey? Okay, good. All right, we got time. All right, so we started looking at the COVID times, and then there's two other things that are kind of very important to understand. This changed the landscape of college athletics and college tennis. Name, image, likeness. Do you know what that is? NIL. What is it?
Is it your ability to make money off your own image?
Your ability to make money off of your name, your image, or your likeness. Meaning, I can be a social influencer for a soft drink or a water or you name it, right? Which was not the case years ago, right? In the old days, if you accepted money or you played a pro tournament, you were done for. Well, nowadays, if you look at the fall schedule for a lot of these Division I, Division II, some of these schools that are really pushing, they're going to have their fall college series of tournaments. Then they're also going to list the pro circuit events that they're going to go to or that they're going to send players to. So you've got that bit over here that is added to the complexity, if you will, of college tennis. And then you've got name, image, likeness, which means now a kid can come in and if they're savvy or if they're a go-getter, they're a hustler, they can go out and make some money instead of struggling through or looking to you as the coach for extra money or those type of things. So it really has changed the landscape of what's going on out there. Now, on top of all of that, now you throw in the transfer portal. Now, what does the transfer portal mean? What is it? You know? I really feel caged here. I gotta roam. What is it?
You can move from school to school.
I can move from school to school. Okay? In the old days, you had to go to your coach. You had to drum up the courage to go to your coach and say, hey coach, I think I'd like to leave here. And it was a gamble because when that door got cracked open, what would your coach say? Okay, fine, you're out of here. I'm gonna take your money and give it to somebody else. Right? So a lot of players didn't necessarily do that. You kind of stuck it out, or you found a way to kind of make it work. Would you agree? Okay. Nowadays, hey, I don't like it because when we travel, we don't fly first class, and I want to fly first class, or I want more Nike shoes, or I want, you name it. Kids nowadays, they want everything now. And if they don't have what they like, then guess what they're going to do? They're going to jump in the transfer portal. If coach was a little rough on me, I'm in the transfer portal. I'm going somewhere else. Okay? So from where I sit, and we don't actually have the transfer portal at the NAI level, but the Division I, II, and III NCAA umbrella, they have transfer portal. Okay? Which means kid says, I want to go, I'm out of here. I have a young lady that I worked with some years ago. She's been to 3 schools, 3 colleges in 3 years. Okay? That muddies the water. It makes it more challenging. Makes it more challenging for me as a coach, right? It makes it more challenging for the players that you may have that want to come and take a spot, right? And it makes it more challenging across the board because of the business side of this, right? And we only have a finite amount of money to spend on our players from year to year, season to season. Does that kind of make sense? Okay, have you heard of the transfer portal before? It's a hot mess, as we say in the United States, right? It's just a hot mess because it's just putting kids out there and they don't like things. They're not very resilient. They just bounce, okay? All right. Understand the system and the levels. So we talked about that Division 1, 2, 3, NAIA, and junior college. Now, here's the absolute God's honest truth, okay? Within those different levels, you've got multiple levels of play ability inside of that. That's why I said earlier, there are some Division 1 teams we won't play because it would take longer to drive there and put our shoes on than to play the match, right? And at the end of the day, it's not so good for us, right? You want competitive matches. Well, and at every level, you've got those different ability levels. So when you talk about Purdue and Ole Miss and Vanderbilt specifically, right? Very, very elite. Power 5. What makes them a Power 5 is college football. College American football. It rules the world in the United States. It is a religion, right? People just can't get enough of it. And so if you're in a Power 5 school, you have TV money and big time money coming in through football, which basically funds everybody else. Okay? So at these other levels, let's be honest, no one cares about Division 2 football. No one cares about Division 3 football. They could care less, even more, about NAIA or junior college football, other than their parents, right? Parents and grandparents who are out there supporting these kids. I'm not knocking it. I'm just trying to be as realistic as I possibly can with you to paint the right picture. That makes sense? Okay, so within inside of those, you've got probably a good 3 levels of ability. So yesterday at qualifying, you had the kid from New Zealand playing against Mickelson. I think the kid from here is playing at Kentucky.
No.
Yeah, and Mickelson was going to go to Georgia. So potentially they would have been playing each other in a month or two anyway at an SEC conference college match. Well, they're now playing each other out here, right? I think the kid that's from Kentucky, is he going back?
Yeah.
Is he done? He's going back? Okay. So you've got that. That is the elite. That's up here, right? And then below that, you've got Division 1 schools, Division 1 teams that just aren't as good. I'm not going to mention any names because some of these people are my friends and this is being recorded. Okay, so, and then there's another level below that mid-level of Division 1, which are teams that, I'm telling you, some of them just need a body with a pulse to fill the spot. And you're laughing, and I get it, but it's true, okay? If you have a pulse, and I'll tell you a story shortly, you have a pulse, I'll get you a racket, you're on the team, okay? Would you ever think that some college coach would come tell you that? No, most of the time I get this stunned, like, are you lost your mind kind of a thing, right? But it's the truth, right? Division 2, you've got an amazing level. The Gulf Coast Conference is kind of the area where we're in Tennessee and Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, North Florida. These guys and girls they're top level. A lot of these Division 2 teams in the Gulf Coast will take out these Division 1 teams, right? Because maybe the school has a little bit different eligibility rules or requirements to actually get into school, right? Then you probably got another 2 levels down inside of just Division 2. Then you get to Division 3. Division 3. Anybody have a player that went to Division 3? So it's no athletic money, no athletic grant money, basically academic money. So yes, I can go to a Division 3 school, right? Average cost is probably $60,000, and they may give me $20,000 for my ACT score, or my GPA was high, which means I still owe, let's see who's good at math, still owe $40,000, which is more than any of the other schools' costs, other than Vanderbilt, right? So you have an opportunity to play, and there's some very, very good Division 3 teams. We open up November the 10th at Swanee, and you've never heard of Swanee. It used to be called the University of the South. They were originally in the conference with Vanderbilt and Ole Miss and Auburn years ago. Well, when I say years ago, like when you were No, even before that, like in the early 1900s, right? But now they're a small, very private, very affluent Division III school. They get the pick of the best academic kids in the country who want to go for a small, nice environment, really chill, but still really good tennis. We'll open up with them, and I'm not necessarily looking forward to it because we're going to play indoors at their place, and it'll be a tough first match for us. So Division III probably has 2 really good levels in there, and then it kind of drops off. It really depends on what does the school want to invest in the program. Do they invest in the coach? Do they invest in the team gear and the travel and you know, all the things that go with that, right? Indoor facilities, outdoor facilities. Do they really invest in it? And you got to remember, what funds college athletics? Because nobody's paying a ticket to come watch you play college tennis, right? What funds this whole thing? Football. Powerhouse, Power 5, Division I football. And that money stays and just trickles down in that little area. Everything else is the discretion of the school. It's the discretion of the athletic director, the president, whatever you want to, the president of the school, on how they operate that. And then the alumni. How much money do they give back to the program so that you can actually have a good program? Okay? NAIA. At least 3 ability levels right there. Anybody ever heard of Georgia Gwinnett? They won the national championship at NAIA like 9 years in a row. I think they had like a 180 match win streak. They never lost. They're stunning, right? They're an NAIA school that you've never heard of in Atlanta, Georgia, and there's no one from there that wants to play them. Not a single team wants to go play them. They don't want to invite them over. They don't have nothing to do with them. Because here's what happens. When the kid up here gets kind of pissy and wants to leave, who wants more money? This school down here, give them a ton of money. Basically, they're on a full ride. Okay? They bought their own country club for the team. They're right in the middle of Atlanta. It's a great location, great tennis around you, great support. They've got everything they need. And they're just beating the crap out of everybody. Right? Luckily for us, you know, we're NAIA. We're in the same division, but we're not in the same conference. They're an independent school, so we don't have to play them. And I'm not going to because it's just going to be disheartening. I'd rather go and we play Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, one of those teams, which will actually pay for our travel and our lunch, and we're going to play on a big stage. And my kids will play the match and feel like, okay, well, I got a chance to compete at this high level. I wasn't supposed to win, but I play really free, and actually, I feel like I'm okay, coach. So for us, it's a better investment to go there and play a match. All right. So junior college, and actually, there's some NAIA teams. I'm telling you, I could pick. You have to play 6 singles matches, right? I could pick 4 of us randomly, and we could go win today. That's how bad some of these teams are, and I've never seen one of you hit a ball. Okay? So when you say, oh, I don't know, my kids, they're not that good. I've actually seen kids get off the van, teams we're playing against. They show up with, we call it a Walmart racket. You know what Walmart is? Yeah. Okay, it's the big chain. You go there, everything's cheap. And they have a Walmart racket, and they still have the plastic around the handle. It's pre-strung. And our kids are like, hey, let me help you with it. Let me take that off for you. Right? Okay? I'm not just, it's the truth. So when I say there's all these different levels out there, and you say, my kids just, they're horrible. But they really want to go there, and I'm trying to tell them, you got to be really good. No, you don't. You have to be willing to do the work in class and take a chance of going over there. Okay? Junior college, 2-year school, a lot of kids who can't, or they don't have the grades, they can't, from non-English speaking schools, maybe they're struggling with the TOEFL, which is an English speaking test you got to score a certain requirement on. Maybe they can't, so they go that direction right there. Okay, they get some core work out of the way, they get some match play, those type of things. So I spent a little more time on this, painting the picture, because I feel like this is so important for you to understand. You have a kid right now at your program that says, this might be kind of cool, I'm kind of interested in it. In the back of your head, you're saying, you're just not that good. it's okay. They can probably play somewhere. Somewhere is the key. All right. And Adam, you're gonna make sure I'm on time, okay? Because I'm sorry, I get to go in and you just give me the 5 sign, bro. All right. We're like that. Actually, I'm gonna tell you a story about Adam in a moment, okay? UTR and world tennis number. Everybody know what UTR is?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Well, do you know what WTN?
Yes. Yeah. It's coming
Okay. Do you use WTN?
soon.
Soon. Okay. Here's the reality. College tennis coaches don't care about WTN yet. It's going to take a while. It took a long time to get UTR where it was. This is our standard. I don't care if he's #1 in New Zealand or #2 in Auckland or number whatever. They want to know the UTR gives you a basis. Now, here's the reality. We're recording this. That's great because it's the truth. Everyone's UTR is off about a point. Okay? Over the last few years, still coming out of COVID, you guys couldn't do anything. You couldn't even go to the grocery store, much less play tennis, right? Some countries, like us, I mean, we were still playing tournaments. We were having a good old time. COVID was great. It wasn't great, but we didn't really shut down. And so it's just a wide range of just like real ability levels. Now, don't tell me my kid is a 7 but plays like a 12.2. Because that we call BS, right? You're not a 7 and play like a 12.2. You're a 7 that plays like a 7.5 sometimes and a 5.5 sometimes. That's the truth. Okay? Now, what's the #1 thing that players are lacking worldwide? It's not a forehand. It's not a new head racket. What? No, it's not money. What are most players lacking? What? This is interactive. You gotta speak loud. If you get the answer right, I'm gonna buy you. What am I gonna buy you? I don't know. I'm gonna get you something here.
Tournament play?
Match play. Match play. Tournament play is one thing. What is match play? Just freaking playing. Just go play. I don't care if you play against the best player at the club in a practice match. I don't care if you're playing a UTR tournament. I don't care if you're playing a sanctioned tournament. Match play. What do most of our kids think they have to do? Train. Get my ranking up. Get my UTR up. Here's the reality. I can't remember the last time a kid came in and I looked at what they had done, either the UTR rankings or their match schedule, and go, wow, that's a good bit of matches. They don't play matches. Mom and dad can't either get them there, they're kind of shut down, whatever the case may be, or they're just afraid to, because what if I play and lose? Holy shit. What if I play and lose? Well, then the coach might not want me. Or maybe I get kicked out of my squad that I'm in. If I play and lose to Billy over there, then I kind of get bumped down. As a college coach, I want you to play a ton. Right? And I just signed a young man from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Very excited because I out of 22 players, I have 1 American. Not by design. I'd love to have more Americans. Can't get them. They're like unicorns. Can't find them. Right? And I'll explain that in a minute. But I finally get this young man, and he's like, okay, what do I need to do? What tournaments do I need to play? What do you want my UTR to be? And I was like, dude, listen to me. Mom and dad, coach, here's what I need. I need you to play 3 matches a week. 3 tournaments? No. I need you to play 3 matches. I need you to play 2 doubles matches and a singles match every week. And a match could be 1 set, it could be a pro set, it could be 2 out of 3. I don't care. Because I want you to play variety, and that's what's missing. So when you have a kid, you go, this kid is interested, I want to help them, I want to get them there, get them playing matches, practice matches. Back in the old days, we grew up as club rats. That's what we would call them in the US, right? And a club rat was a kid who would show up at the club in the morning, hit with anybody, do their clinic or their lesson, sleep on the sofa, have lunch, maybe hustle somebody for some money, right, in the back of the club, then go play another match in the afternoon, right, and then at 8 o'clock they would finish with like a doubles match with like 2 old guys that were a little shifty, right, a little dodgy, and then they would walk home, right? And that's what it used to be like. You'd play a lot. Nowadays, kids just don't play, right? They show up to their tournament and they leave when they're done. WTN is coming, but I don't care about it. College coaches don't care about it. All right, so UTR is kind of where you want to be with that right now. Academic requirements. Okay, this is very important. If you're not eligible, then you're no good to me. That sounds harsh. If you're not eligible, meaning your grades aren't there, you're not going to class, you're not meeting the academic requirements, then you're just not good to me because I can't play you, right? So this is a business. It's like a commodity, right? I buy something, I invest my scholarship money into it, and I want a return on that. Some coaches obsessive about their return. They want big returns, right? Like when you bought that car, I want a return on my investment on this car. Well, sometimes you don't get an investment return. But I need you to be eligible, otherwise you're just taking up spot on the roster, okay? So if you've got a kid who goes, I really love to play tennis, but I don't like going to class. Guess what? Don't call me, okay? We're friends and all, we're buddies, but don't call me with that kid, right? You got a kid who loves to go to class, who wants to get a degree, then push them that direction. ACT or SAT scores, some schools are a little bit different. They don't even require that anymore. During COVID, we had some troubles there. Couldn't do it internationally. TOEFL, as I mentioned, is the test for non-English speaking schools or countries. High school transcripts have to be translated. They have to send their transcript off to a third party. They translate it, they put it into a formula, and then they give it to the school. The one thing that I can promise you, every school is different. For a while, we didn't require a certain number, a score on the TOEFL. All a kid had to do to go to our school was go take the test.
Oh, really?
So if you put your name on the test and you took it and you scored a score, didn't matter what it was, you could come. Because what we do at our school is say, all right, your English isn't so good, we're going to put you into a class here that's going to help you along, right? We're going to give you a tutor. We're going to get you there. Some schools just say our TOEFL score 86. Oh, I got an 87. Okay, well, don't come or go take it again, right? This is the way it is. So everybody is different. Everybody's different. You can't say it's just one thing. Yes, sir.
A question, Bill. Do you still need to keep a certain GPA in order to keep your scholarship now, or you can have any scores and still keep your?
That's a great question, because here's the reality: you have to maintain a certain GPA to stay eligible. Now, that is with the organization out here that kind of monitors what's going on. Every school is going to be different and require different things, but globally, you've got the clearinghouse and Play NAI that says you got to meet certain academic standards. Once again, from NCAA to NAIA to junior college is a little bit different. From school to school to school is a little bit different. But I would say a minimum is a 2.0. So if you're just a C student, an average student, you're going to be okay. All right? All right. Next. How we doing, Adam?
Tennis.
Okay, good. All right, what does a coach want in a player? This is very, very important. Know how to play doubles. Okay? You know how many, I've only done this for 35 years, but I had one kid who came in that knew what to do in doubles. One kid. That kid actually was mine, right? My son played for me for 2 years. He played as high as #1 doubles. Why? Because his whole childhood, he hung out with us, coaches, he traveled with me, and he went to tournaments, and he played doubles all the time. He wasn't great, he just understood doubles. He understood return, location on the serve, get in, finish the point, right? He could play doubles. Shit in singles. He took after his mother in singles. But doubles, right? So kids don't know how to play doubles. So if your kid wants to go play college tennis, Let's do it. We're playing doubles once, twice a week. I want to play with the old guys over there who are crafty with that bummed up knee that hits drop shots and lobs. That's the kid I want to play against, right? Okay? He's right there actually with the bummed up knee. In the left. He says that, yeah, right? The more braces, the better. Go play, right? All right. They need to be academic minded, right? They need to understand that I've got to be eligible to play. Team player maturity. You're halfway around the world, right? I don't want a kid that I've got to check up. Are you in class? Are you eating right? Are you washing your laundry? Like, I don't want to, I'm not a babysitter, right? So maturity is huge. Typically we don't have any trouble with women, right? It's the guys. You're all smelly and you don't show up to class, you sleep in. It's just the way it is, okay? I've done this a long time. And they're like, no, it's not. And the girls are like, yeah, you're right. Motivated, self-sufficient. I want a problem solver, okay? And that may be the new unicorn right there. Kids that are problem solvers. I haven't met one yet. It's been many, many years since I've seen one, right? But if you are running a facility, an academy, or whatever, right? Let's help our kids become better problem solvers. It's, where's my racket? How do I get it strung? How do I put a grip on? You name it. But you're presented with a problem, just like we all are every single day as adults, right? Here's the problem I got. How am I gonna fix that? Right? As opposed to, shit, call mom or coach. What do I do? Right? I don't need to tell you what to do. I need you to be taking care of things. All right. Common mistakes. There's a bunch of these. Let's see. Let's go off court. Is that first? Yeah. Student athlete. Want them to be a student athlete. Sometimes they undervalue themselves or they overrate themselves. A lot of times this is the parents talking right there, right? They're really good, but don't believe the hype because there's going to be 10 other guys or girls that are way better, right? And they've already played a season or two of college tennis and they know how to work the system. When I say work the system, what I actually mean is cheat, okay? Because it's just rampant in college tennis. Because we have umpires that are too old to even see or get out of the chair, and we don't have a budget really to have enough umpires out there. Here's a big one. The kids don't do any research, which is insane to me because they literally have the power of the world in their fingertips all the time. They can find out my eye color, right, on their phone, but yet they still send me an email that says, "Dear Coach," which means they didn't even take the time to look at my name, right? Dear Coach Riddle is what I'd like to have. Dear Coach, I'm probably not even going to open the email and look at it. I won't look at your video if you just write Dear Coach, because I know, you know what that means? They just did one email and they sent it out to a bunch of us. And it means they had no idea, I lost it, they have no idea if we even have at our school what they're looking for, right? Let's see, they let mom and dad do all the work. Hate that, right? Actually, I had a kid I was looking at, was at a tournament. Kid won his match. He comes off the court, and he drops his bag, and he sits down in the chair. Here, I'm gonna sit here with you. He's sitting here, and guess what happens? Mom walks up with some drink. Dad comes over with some cookies. They pick up his bag. And I just, see ya, I just left. Why? Because I'm not gonna be that mom and dad. Take care of your stuff, get your own drink, get your own cookies, right? I don't have time for that. I need mature players, right? So let's help our kids do the things that's gonna get them a spot on a team. I will take a kid that's working hard, busting their butt, takes care of themselves, they're mature, but might lose some, over the kid who's like, comes in, I was ranked number 1, right? I beat so-and-so. That was 3 years ago. What have you won since then? Right? They don't understand the levels, right? They come in, I really need to be playing D1. I can't even tell you how many times I hear that. I'm a D1 player. Okay, well, let me send you to this school where you're not going to win, or you won't even see the court. You won't even be a practice partner, right? Or you can go somewhere else, right? And you're going to be number one, and you're going to play crap matches every single time, or you're going to get hammered every single time because of the way the schedule is. Personal coach or parents are delusional. Love that one. There's a lot of delusion out there, right? Denial is not only a river, it's a place where some of us go, right? You can use that one later on if you like. Ah, yeah. All right. And here's the thing, and I hate to say this, but I don't trust the recruiting companies. Because what is their whole model? You give me $5,000 and I will put you in a school. I don't care if that school fits you. I know you want to be a pilot, but they don't actually have a program for a pilot, but I got you a spot on the team, so come up with a new dream, right? Okay? And oh, by the way, I got you $4,000 in scholarship money, right? Wait a minute, so I paid 5 and I got 4, I'm still upside down 1, right? And this is the biggest scam on the planet right now. Guys, right? You're a dime a dozen. Every boy is a dime a dozen. Meaning that for every one that I look at, there's 10 more that send me an email saying, I'd really love to come play at your school. For every one of you that I look at, right now I can open up my emails and be 10 more emails from somebody wanting to come play. Girls, different story. But for guys, there's so many that want these spots. What is the #1 dropped college sport in the United States since 1973, I believe it was? #1 dropped college sport. Hey, you're done. You're out of here. What is it? Men's college tennis. Okay, during COVID to now, we lost 68 tennis programs. 68 teams just said, we're done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right? So what does that mean? With all those 68 players, right? So let's say you got 10 players per team, right? That's 680 players who just went, I have nothing anymore, where am I gonna go? On top of everybody who wants to come, right? And everybody who's in there who wants to move over because they don't like the coach, or they don't want to eat this food, or they don't want to travel on that bus, or they like Nike, not Adidas, whatever, right? So it is, when I said a hot mess earlier, I wasn't kidding. There's still great opportunities. Yes, sir.
Is it true that is there more money for girls than for boys in tennis? Or not?
The question is it true that there's more money for girls than there is guys? Yes and no. The level has dropped a bit. So if you wanted to play at a big school, you had to be like a 9 or a 10, or I mean, you got to be pretty solid UTR, right? Well, there's some schools that are Division I that the levels drop down. So now they're taking like an 8, right? Or a 7. I saw a team we played a year ago, and they had a girl at #6 that she was horrible. So, I mean, she might have been a 4 UTR or something, I don't know. But it's just, what happens is they don't know. Now, years ago, and I said this before, years ago there were a ton of Aussies, and I saw kids from New Zealand in college ranks. And I've been doing this for 35 years, right? Nowadays, I know one kid who's from New Zealand that plays at a school, or actually he just graduated, maybe a couple of Aussies here and there. So, for whatever reason, this side of the planet just got overlooked, or we stopped connecting, or you lost my number, I don't know. Gotcha. Right? And I wrote my number on the bathroom wall, so you should have it, right? So somehow there's, which was really why I wanted to spend some time here with you guys and gals, because I feel like there is probably some really good talent, right? You got some kids that are like, they would love this opportunity, and they could do it, right? But the problem was, you got some bad information you didn't know, and it's changed.
And you're in charge of the boys and the girls, Bill?
I run the guys and girls, yes.
Well, that would be hard.
And, well, it's tougher with the guys. Guys are prima donnas. I'm being honest. People ask, well, what would you rather have, the guys or the girls? I'm like, I think the girls all day long. They do what they're supposed to do, you know.
So when you schedule the matches will be for the boys and the girls?
So, yeah, sometimes we'll travel together. Sometimes we'll go separate. It just kind of varies. All right, so real quick, we got like 4 minutes left. Common mistakes. that I'm seeing from them on court. Lack of fitness. Like, you know, they want to hit big forehands, they want to hit big serves, right? Girls, the last time they volleyed was 1972, right? They go to the net to shake hands, not to volley, right? Which here, if you take nothing else, okay, I'm just giving you these little gems, right? So if you got a girl that wants to play, teach her how to get a good serve, overhead, and a volley. She'll go anywhere, right? Serve, overhead, and a volley. No physical strength. They're all about playing tennis. They need to understand the fitness side of things. I don't want them in the gym, and this is the problem. I've got my guys, they go into the gym and they're like crushing it, like, and they're looking in the mirror and they're building a gym body, you know, for the girls. But they're not getting better for tennis. No real understanding of how to play doubles. Actually, I should say, have no clue what they're doing. That would be easier, I think, right? No idea really what they need to do pre-match. They kind of just show up. You know, we have to spend a lot of time educating them on how to prepare. And then, all right, so plan A is not working. What do I do? Well, we only really got as far as plan A with my coach. Mom ran out of money and, you know, I don't know. So I need a plan B and a plan C because they need it, right? We're down to 2 minutes. I'm with you, Adam. All right, so they want to go play. Here's what they do. Top 10 list times 3. What's 10 times 3? Oh my God. Private school, I can tell. All right, so 30 schools that I'm interested in. I write them down on a piece of paper. I put them on the refrigerator, and I start looking at these schools, doing my research, right? I reach out to the coach. I send them an email. Dear Coach Riddle, I would really love to play college tennis and get an education. Not, dear coach, I'm looking for a scholarship. Guess where that email goes? The kid he or she is just looking for money. I want to know that they're looking to be an athlete and take care of their academics. They want to be part of the team. They want to be part of the team culture, right? 30 schools, you start whittling it down. And recruiting companies, we talked about that. I won't even go into that anymore because whatever. Clearinghouse, that's that third party over here that you send all your information to, and they say you're cleared to play NCAA or you're cleared to play NAIA. If you have a kid and they're not sure where they're going to go and the phone is not ringing, here's the other one. If the phone's not ringing, meaning the coach isn't calling you saying, hey, we want you to come to our school, well then you got to do some work. You don't have to go to a recruiting company, but you got to do some work to get there. Scholarship money and grants. A lot of schools, once you get in, that's when the real money begins, because you find out what's going on. Do I have extra grants that are available for me that are just specific to that school? Okay. There's a ton of money that's out there, and they just have to know kind of where to go and get it and how to find it. So that is a ton of information. I'm so sorry that I went so quick, but we have a small window of time. Here, I'll even give you one of these. Come on, I know. You paid for the conference, all the jokes were free. So I will be around all day. So if you have questions, if you have a kid, you have whatever, let's chat. I'm not here thinking, oh, I'm going to find a new player for our team. If I do, great. But if not, my goal from this was to give you more information that's really, really specific as to what the climate is like right now, and then start making these connections, because you never know. I have a really good relationship with a lot of schools, a lot of players, and whether you're at my school or wherever you're at, there's these great opportunities. I'm very blessed to get to do what I do for a long time, and hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was informative. So.